have a weird relationship with anime. You see, as a kid, I've always loved anime ever since watching them on Toonami and Jetix. Ever since then, I consistently continue consuming more anime as I couldn't get enough of them at the time. Most of them, however, were battle-centric shows like Naruto, Bleach, or Dragon Ball. It wasn't, however, until I want to say 2019 when I experienced my first true sports anime, Haikyuu. I was lucky enough to experience Haikyuu after its third season is finished, meaning I had 3 seasons worth of content to binge. So when I sat down to watch and press play, I was obsessed. No, seriously, not even the Avengers themselves could have stopped me from watching. I was so addicted to that show, and I was visibly getting frustrated with every episode ending. For someone who exclusively watches battle shonen, it was refreshing to watch an anime that didn't have end of the world stakes or deathmatch amongst ninjas or saiyans. The main appeal obviously was that it was a show about people playing a sport that they're passionate about and learning how to overcome the obstacles necessary to become the best in the world. Blue Lock, just like Haikyuu, also has the same message. However, what separates this series from the rest is its core concept of egoism. This series follows a young and egotistical striker, Isagi, who dreams of being the best in the world. Blue Lock, at least from where I'm at in the manga, is mainly focused on a facility that's sole purpose is to create the world's best striker. By doing so, Ego, the man in charge of the entire project, turns the entire concept of football in its head by putting its entire focus on the striker position. Ego invites 300 of Japan's best young high school strikers into this facility, and after the introductions, sets up a warm-up test where you can essentially play tag with the soccer ball. Ego sets a time for 2 minutes and 16 seconds, and whoever's still it when the clock strikes 0 gets eliminated. Now obviously, when I first watched it, I was scratching my head, how does this help with soccer? It was my first question, though it was the intention. At the same time, we were introduced to some of the supporting cast of characters here, with guys like Bachira, Kunigami, and Kira, or at least I thought Kira was one of the supporting characters. You see, Blue Lock establishes the stakes very early on, making it almost seem like Kira was going to be a prime figure in the show. So when he got eliminated, I was shocked. Ego makes the point of using every second on the clock to your advantage and aim to score a goal. As of the recording of this video, Blue Lock is only in its first season, meaning for anime only watchers, I won't delve deep into what's going on in the manga, but trust me when I tell you, it gets way better and far more intense. One of my favorite aspects of this series that also makes it stand out is just how well it uses its own concept to its full potential. After the initial introductions and the warm-up, we then get our team set up. Ego ranks 300 members in alphabetical order, from A to Z, 1 to 300. Isagi, our main character, gets ranked 299, so he gets put on Team Z. When I saw this, my first thought was that most of the series was going to be Isagi and his team learning to work together in order to climb the ranks to beat the Blue Lock program, and then have that same team compete in the national tournament together. That was pretty much what the first selection was, except with a twist of every player being a striker, meaning they would have to improve and use their ego to score a goal. Imagine how happy I was when I got to the second selection, where they threw the idea in the trash and had them split up and compete against each other. This is such a unique way not to only keep you invested, but to give the supporting cast more time to develop and find their resolve. And trust me, this entire idea of separating and switching up the supporting cast only benefits Blue Lock, as in the manga, they continue to better integrate more characters and team dynamics into the mix. Later in the season, we meet Itoshi Rin, who is the #1 ranked in all of Blue Lock and is an eventual threat and rival to Isagi. In this season specifically, he would go on to be the main antagonist. After Rin makes no effort to acknowledge Isagi, he takes it upon himself to challenge him. This match serves in the first of many of Isagi and Rin's clash of ideals in terms of football. I won't go into much detail into what happens in this match. I'd rather you go and watch the show, or if anything read the manga, but the match is more about strategy, and you can see the show's focus on how to strategize a play in order to score a goal. I also love how exaggerated the series makes it look in comparison to how it's played in real life. Egos, monsters, awakenings, all these complement the show very well, and it makes it seem like they're fighting a war rather than playing football. Side note, Rin and his relationship with his brother, or at least how they portrayed in the anime, totally reminds me of Sasuke and Itachi for some reason. Isagi is also entertaining as a main character. He starts out as a typical anime protagonist. He wants to be the best in the world and is a very hardworking kid. However, the show makes it known that he can also have what it takes to survive in Blue Lock. He can be egotistical, selfish, like in his match with Baro, and how much aggressive and assertive he can be when pushed to the edge. He also has moments where his ego overtakes him and he ends up looking like a villain, which I love. Outside of the matches, however, he's a lot nicer and usually what you expect in an anime protagonist. Bachira is one of my favorites in the show. I love how upbeat and unpredictable he can be, and if you read the manga, he only gets better, not just as a player, but as a character. Rin doesn't get much in terms of character development in season 1, but so far they gave him a good introduction, and in season 2 will probably be his time to shine, especially when we get to the U20 arc. Guys like Nagi, Shigeri, and Raichi are good here as they are in the manga where I'm at now, but let me tell you that Nagi and Shigeri especially are top tier later on. So is Rio, but let's talk about that once season 2 comes. If there's one issue I can pick apart from the anime, for me, it would be the animations. The art style is great and it's in line with the manga's art style. The animation could be a little more fluid as there were some parts that could have used Sakuga like animations, which could have really gave some moments, no pun intended, the kick it needed to make it more hype. But overall, that's pretty much where my issues end with the anime. I love the music. Again, the art style is great. The use of effects to emphasize their awakenings makes the scene stand out. I'm nearly about to catch up in the manga, and in my opinion, if Blue Lock manages to continue this level of quality, unpredictability, and world building like it's doing now, I can easily see this series being one of the best sports anime / mangas ever made. It is that good, and I cannot wait to see what happens next. So yeah, Blue Lock is outstanding and it continues to impress me. Alright, but what do you guys think? What is your favorite sports manga or anime series? Haikyuu or Kuroko no Basket or Hajime Ippo? I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Alright, but let me know down in the comments and let's discuss. And I'll see you guys next time.